Okay, welcome. This is Mark, Spirit Child 1723. We're going to do collective reading. We're going to have 3 gemstones, so I'll put the timestamps down the bottom, and you can pick one and see if that resonates with you. You can listen to 1, you can listen to 2, you can listen to 3, listen to 1.5, doesn't matter. All right, so the first stone, the number 1 stone is going to be this one, light purple amethyst. I'm sorry. That's number 1 pile. The number 2 gemstones, just pure quartz, kind of, still in a rock form, not really polished all that much. So that's number 2. Is I won't say clear quartz, but quartz. Number 3 is going to be this light blue pendulum style. So that'll be the number 3 stone if you pick that. So we're going to begin. I'm going to put the cards out there while you guys are thinking about that. I'm going to lay out the cards for all of them. Then we'll go through them one at a time. And again, I'll put the timestamps down below. So we're going to deal this off the top. So for the purple amethyst, let's go like this. 1, 2, 3. All right. And then we'll do these cards for the quartz. 1, 2, 3. I need more room. Then we'll do this for the light blue stone. I'm not sure of the name. Don't ask me. I won't lie. Okay. And we're going to go to this deck right here. Beach Time Soul. I'm going to deal the cards out. This is the row for the first pile. This is the row for the second pile. This is the row for the third pile. Just be patient. I'm sorry, guys, but that's all right. We're going to do this on, as we go along here. And we will get to reading the cards. Just got to deal them first. Okay, one last row. We're just going to do one of these romance angels. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, so it's a 10 card reading. We are doing amethyst, right? We're doing the amethyst first. All right, let's see what the Angel Tarot says for this group. This is for July, Awakening, Archangel Gabriel. Look at things from a different perspective, a temporary standstill. It's important to be yourself. So this is showing her kind of sideways and upside down. So again, in regular tarot, the hangman does that, right? Gets in the tree and hangs off his foot, right? To try to get a different look, a different outlook on the situation, the what's going on in his life. The Fool is looking. All right, the second card for this first group, 2 of Fire. You've come into your own. New partnerships or contracts. Continue to move forward. All right, collective. So we got the dragon energy, and it says that your desires and passion. You united with somebody, and you're going after your desires and passion. This could be both work and romance. It could be one or the other. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it just like that. It could be work or romance, but something's moving forward in a relationship. Then we have the 5 of Water, which came out for the earth signs. All right, so 3 cups are spilled, 2 are upright, right? The focus is on the 3 that broke, so somebody might have just got released or had to release someone from a relationship, and they're not at the point where they see the 2 cups upright. They're still filled. They're just focused on the 3 that spilled. They're down, they're out, and that's just where they're at for the moment. All right. Second row for them is this is abundance. Keep a positive mindset. Manifest exactly what you want. Gratitude, bliss. So higher vibration, will bring in abundance. Not just money, health, ideas, prosperity in different ways. You know what I mean? Opportunities. Maybe hearing divine guidance at a different level. Abundance can affect, a lot of things. Coffee cup, meeting and conversing. Savoring the moment, feeling uplifted, friendship. So, if you are going through a breakup and you can get with a friend to hold space, sit and have coffee, or go people watching if the weather's not piping hot, and if it is, just go inside a mall and you still can people watch. But just hang out, and be silly, and don't think about, you know, don't be don't be in the energy of what you can do once you're by yourself, right? Take advantage of having the company or someone to listen to you. All right, then we have cassette, which is outdated thinking, conditioning, replaying events over in your head. So again, that's what we're trying to get away from, is reliving the past event if it involves somebody dumping you. We all get our turn. Cassette looks like a little computer guy upside down. Anyways, okay, let's keep going. Not enough, lacking confidence, self-sabotage, ego and fear, frustrations. This is the energy of you or your person or both, but I'm getting at that might be you. Yeah, yeah, collective. I think that's you. You might have brought a relationship to an end, and then when it ended, you were in more pain than the other person. Mask, hiding true feelings, pretending and delude, gaslight and personify. So, you know, so there could be two people that were together, right? And one was putting on a show and really not interested in the other person. Just say it outright, right? They just wanted to string them along, play them along. They wanted to pull on the heartstrings enough to make sure they feel it when the person detaches. I'm sorry if you are going through that. Like I said, we all have our turns on both sides of the coin. Then we have shock, sudden change, shocking news, surprise, epiphany, transformation. So somebody might have learned, might have had a little tower go down and learned something that they won't have to repeat that. You know what I mean? They won't have to repeat that lesson. They just remember how they felt, what they did, what their intentions were. Maybe trusting someone a little too soon, maybe not, letting time take time for the person to reveal their true self. I think anyone can wear a mask for 30, maybe 60, not anyone, but some people are really good. But after 90 days, it's going to leak out. They're real person. The real person they are is going to leak out. So I suggest watching what they do and not the words that come out of their mouth. You know, listen with your eyes. That's what I always say. And then we have getting to know each other. As you reveal your innermost selves to each other, your bond deepens. So this is showing the energy of like a new friendship or possible relationship. That it's just in the not the infinite, the infant stages. You know, so that's where the purple amethyst pile is leaving off. So now we are switching over. I'm gonna call it semi-cloudy quartz. We're switching over to the second gemstone. For those of you who picked this pile, we will begin the reading. We have 10 of Earth. Very happy family life, financial security, finding magic in the little things in life. There's a lot of pressure that gets relieved when the finances are going right. It really tends to help you let go of any worry. And something I tell myself, there's a lot of uncertainty going on. Some people won't invest right now because they're scared. Some people can be afraid they're going to lose their job or get laid off to a robot, whatever it may be. One thing I've learned to do is that the universe is my provider, right? Not the company. You know what I mean? Not the project, not the person that owns the company. Like, my provider is way bigger than that. Everything in this universe is a piece of my higher powers, warehouse of items and people and possibilities. So I just try to remember, my real independence is by being dependent on knowing that God's in charge, you know, and that works for me. I don't know. I don't know about anyone else. Then we have the page of air, logical, honest, impulsive, curious, challenging information, delays or changes to plans, truth delivered without tact. Yeah, this, I mean, this, this page could come in with a real unclear, like, love message or whatever, or maybe just kind of a distraction, you know, to make a little chaos or little, I don't want to say tizzy, but put on a little show, you know, and they're not even sold on the fact themselves that they're really interested in you. That's the energy I'm getting for the clear quartz, cloudy quartz stone reading. Then we have the two of water, relationship that continues to grow closer, forgiveness, positive resolution of a conflict. So these two are in unison, man. And these mermaids and stuff, they're a couple. They're linked, you know. They're experiencing the same time and they're in the moment together. It's beautiful, beautiful water energy. All right. Then we go to beach time soul. So the second row of the cloudy quartz, semi-cloudy quartz, ascending, transcending obstacles, learning expansion, new phase, preparing for union. So some of you guys are doing the work. Some of you guys are having a little bit of a spiritual awakening here. Or maybe a big one. Who knows? Maybe a dark night of the soul. Sun and gun, but it's good to be on the other side of it if you did have it. Coffin, ending brings new beginnings, growth, change, liberation, transition. So this is saying what you wanted in the past is not going to fulfill you now because you have a different viewpoint and it involves some spirituality. So good for you. Mirroring each other, self-image, relationships reflect our wounds, introspection. All right, so what the top row have? Pentacles, Ten of Air, Page of Air coming in, Two of Water. So you had some type of union for some of you. You know, this is what everyone does. They reflect, you know, we project onto them, they reflect our energy back to ourselves, right? So there's a old story, you know, and it's a long story. I'll cut it real short, but anyways, it involves a guy that drives a tugboat to two islands. Those are the only places people can live. And the people get on the boat going one way. They say, "Hey, I've never been to this island. I'm moving there. This is like permanent change. It's going to be my residence. How are the people there?" And the question the tugboat driver or operator always asks them is, how did you get along with your neighbors and the people in your community where you were? And if they said decent, he would say, well, you'll find the people are very decent over there too, right? So that's the vibe I get with that. Date, get back out there, meeting someone new, setting a date online. This reading is mirroring, even though it's a collective, it's mirroring the earth signs. So if you're looking for a specific sign, a few of these cards came out similar for earth. You know, not exact, but we're not done with this either. So then we have poker face, taking a chance, risk and options, not showing hand, gambling. You know, somebody's wearing a mask. Eventually, you'll see the real person. Picture, looking at pictures, missing you, nostalgia, making new memories. So this is moving on. You know what I mean? Not getting stuck in the past. But, you know, sometimes you can reminisce. When you're healed from it, you can reminisce about the past sometimes. And you start to see more positive stuff. And you start to see stuff with it was needed for your growth. You know, you start to see it from a different viewpoint as you heal and you mature spiritually. And then the last card, deception. So somebody here, poker face. Someone is wearing a false self mask in this relationship. So the person you're dealing with, they don't know themselves. They're putting on the stage character, you know, the one they think you want to see, but they're so far into it, they really don't know themselves. You know what I mean? So be caution. for those of you that do have the two of water with somebody, that's a whole different story, you know, whole different plot, whole different timeline. So that's what we have for the semi-cloudy quartz. And I'm gonna shuffle these cards way over here because I'm off my little reading board. Ran out of space because I'm trying to put 3 read-ins all at the same time. All right. All right, so that brings us to the third gemstone, which was this light blue pendant. I don't know what it is. It was supposed to have some common effect. Bought it from somebody, you know, a rock dealer, not rock cocaine. This is I don't know if it's made around quartz. Who knows? I don't know. Somehow it could be just cut. You know what I mean? The rock could have been blue and they just cut it into this formation. I don't know. But anyways, we're up to that. First card out is the Three of Earth. Power of creativity, recognition for very high quality work, be a team player. Yeah, 3 is about collaboration, using other people to do certain parts of a project, you know, subbing work out when you have long projects and you really don't have the energy to meet the deadlines, you know, don't get exhausted. The saying to get the right people to help you. If you can incorporate that, that's the way to go. Next card's out, the Four of Earth. We get a little progression here. Being too frivolous or too cautious with money. Good business decisions given to those less unfortunate. I'm seeing this in some of the other decks. The Four of Earth, that's Pentacles. You know, it's a you know, you're looking for a balance. You're looking for a foundation of giving and receiving. But usually, you know, sometimes we got to work on taking care of ourselves before. You can always give a small percentage, you know, whether it's time or energy. That's money just converts to energy in some form. So when somebody doesn't have financial resources, they give of their time. That's real valuable. My time's really valuable. Older I get, time is a precious resource, you know. Get 24 hours for the day if you're lucky to have the health, right? What you do with it, you know, we all have opportunity to spend that time however we want. You know, you can't say this person got ahead in business because, you know, they had more time in the day, or they, you know, they might have worked longer and put more effort. The Hermit. Okay, spend time in quiet meditation, spiritual teaching, self-discovery. We had that with the Earth reading too. You know, delay on important decisions. You know, take care of you. You know, see if you can get some guidance. You know, and proceed. You know, take the proper time to make certain decisions. You don't have to rush in. Someone's pressuring you to make a decision in love or business, and you know you don't have the right information or the right feeling. If you're, you know, you go by your empathic feelings, don't do it. If it's supposed to be, it'll still be there. The opportunity will be there. I usually, if I'm buying a car off a lot, not always, but typically I'll go by 3 different times to make sure that's what I want, and that, you know, just just something I wouldn't do when I was younger. You know, if I really want it, it's there. If they say something, hey, someone's coming to look at it this afternoon, good. If it's for them, let them buy it. You know what I mean? I'll be back. If it's still here, might take it out for another ride. You know. Anyways, heart with a key. Welcome in love. Meeting the one. Open your heart. Getting together. Perfect. Perfect. I don't know. Perfect timing, maybe. Um, Again, we're in the blue pendant. If you pick that particular stone, welcome in love. So it's talking about keeping a open heart, keeping your heart unlocked, right? Then we have passion, insane chemistry. What are you guys doing, light blue? Like each other equally, having fun. This is awesome. What a nice playful energy right here. The light blue stone, that group, they're out there getting getting their freak on, I guess. I don't know. They're active. The golden mirror, self-absorbed, narcissist, one-sided relationship, love bombing. So beware, you know, unless you know you're just out there for short term and fun, and you know, you think emotionally you can handle that stuff, you're still young, or you're still, rebound from that stuff and you're willing to take the emotional hit, then just be careful. And sometimes other people play the game better than you might think you play it. It's out there again, guys, so careful. Golden mirror, narcissist, love bombing, self-absorbed, one-sided. And again, I got this message in all these three have some cards very similar to the Earth reading I did in front of this reading. But this is a warning for someone that might not know they're being fooled yet by somebody. Yeah. Maybe you can do damage control, you know what I mean, and stop some of the emotional pain that's going to happen. And look into it, research stuff. That's I'd hear people using terms and I'd be like, what the heck's this younger generation talking? I have to look it up, and sometimes it's like a street thing or, you got to get a slang type dictionary out to find the meaning of a word. And I'm like, man, that thing's off the chart, whatever they're talking about. Separation, sadness, bitterness, missing you, thinking about you, uncertain future. Again, I get this coming from your side, light blue people, that you're missing something or you wanted something to happen or kind of made a fantasy out of somebody that was in your life for a little while. That's just for some of you, you know. There's others that are, moving along with business and, have their heart open, but there might not be much happening. And then we have the runner, fear of intimacy, running away, intensity and letting go, turmoil and fleeting. So it's somebody that just, not going to stay in close proximity. Anytime you're getting close to them, they feel it's unsafe or whatever because of their childhood upbringing or something that may happen to them. They're going to make space. And a lot of times it's really not about you. And it's so hard to hear that, because you're like, of course it's about me. It affects me. Like we were close and then they just stopped talking to me. No explanation. I deserve an explanation. Uh, the way the world works is that it's that you got my experience is you got to learn how to do that for yourself because some people are never going to resurface in your life. It's like a one and done, right? And then the last card to close the reading for the light blue crystal. Free yourself. It's time to take back control of your life. For some of you, you need to stand in your own power. This is a false illusion that unicorn can click its heels and be out of that little cage. But for some reason, it's like the lady with the blindfold and she doesn't even know the handcuffs have been taken off. So that's what I have for the light blue. I will put the timestamps in the reading. Let me know, guys. Let me know what your input. That was real fun for me to do, a little different. The only thing I got to remember to do is get the timestamps in there. But I appreciate you watching the video. If you can share it, like it, make a comment, I really appreciate it. And have a good month, man. Have a good July.